Hello, my friends. I had a really lovely dinner with some friends last night, and I was so pleasantly surprised or maybe grateful to hear how the normalcy of the conversation actually went to union and oneness and really finding that place of peace and resonance inside as opposed to all the division that's going on. And I was just really touched by this one friend. I hadn't seen her for quite a while, so I wasn't quite sure where she was with everything. But she shared that it's not about going out there and engage in the division. She was really very, very strongly convinced that we have to go inside and be that peace that we want to experience in the world. And of course, that's what I've been talking about a lot for quite a while. So it really, it was nourishing to have conversations like that where we are all on the same wavelength. And the interesting thing is too, other things that are going on in the world, there were very different views there, but it didn't matter because we chose not to engage in that, in the division. There might be, differences in the ways we see things, but that was not the point. The point is that instead of letting ourselves be pushed further or further away from who we truly are and therefore from each other, which has happened so much for the past, whatever, 4 or 5 years, there's just been a lovely, let's move close back together in again and find that place where we resonate in the truth, where we realize that we all want the same. We all want peace. We all want connection. We all want love. We all want a beautiful earth, right? That there is very little division on that angle, but it is what's going on out there and what we are being programmed to believe, whether it's one or the other side or fifth, sixth, seventh, 10th side. That is not it's not the point anymore, and that's really made me happy that there was just a naturalness that many of us are coming to this place where we know that this is the only thing that matters. And of course, that within that, we also have to look at how we are still maybe pushing people away that we don't like, that we don't agree with, that we have not resolved maybe the issues that we've had with them in the past. And therefore, there is a tendency to push them away. I'm sure we all have that, because you can't really get through life in full harmony with everybody. I don't know anybody who has experienced that. But within that, we can start looking at how we have been engaging in pushing people away, even maybe people who have been close friends in the past. And we have, some kind of a story around it that, of course, we always feel right about it. That's how we are. We act because what we feel inside and how we perceive the situation, we just feel it's right. But in that there is still that division, isn't there? It's like, no, you stay out there and I stay here, and we have this division this divide in between us. So what can we do about that? We can certainly first become aware of it, and in my own experience, I find this so important, to keep looking at where I am not fully love yet, where I'm not fully loved towards other people yet, towards myself, towards the world, whatever it is. That is what I keep meeting in myself, because we all have so many parts inside of us that we feel contracted and we want to push others away or ourselves away. And we are basically just feeding that illusion of duality out there. The only reason that we experience that illusion of reality is because we are acting that out, that division. So in my own case, when I have things that, there's people that I might have things happen with in the past that were not so pleasant or maybe not right or whatever. So when those show up, if I either hear about the person or see the person, there might be something arising in me that is like, wants to contract or move away or not engage. There's nothing wrong with that as long as I meet that part in myself. As long as I can catch myself if I am using this, unresolved or unintegrated part in me that is not love yet. And, we can have another discussion about what love is. It doesn't mean it's the mushy, doormat love. No, no, no. We're done with that, right? But if it comes up in me, I want to be present with that feeling of like, ooh, or stay away, or contraction, or tightening jaws, or pain, or whatever it is for any of us. When that comes up, I want to meet it immediately, immediately. And I want to just allow it to be here, because all it is an energy that has cut itself off from love. And I don't want to live like that anymore. So there is a deep resolve in me to be love in any situations. And again, that does not mean that I'm a doormat, because that's not loving to myself, is it? So it's finding a way where I stay loving with myself without cutting other people off. So I'm not cutting off myself from my love. I'm not cutting off other people, but I can still have a pretty good boundary and say, well, if we want to connect or whatever, then this is important for me. Then I am true to myself and I'm true to the situation. So if things come up that need to be met in me, and you can feel it, because there's some kind of a contraction or stirring, or the mind comes up with a story. Here we have a little kitty coming to visit. And so you will feel that there is something in the field that, jerks or contracts. That is the point where we can go, oh, here's something. Let me pay attention to it. Let me be present with this and allow it to come up to the surface so I can fully be present with it in the presence of love. Because I think it was yesterday or the day before, I talked about how love is basically bringing everything up unlike itself so that it can become like itself, right? That's the whole point. It's like here there's a contraction and love is bringing it up. So I can really be present with it. I can also suppress it back down again. That's my choice, right? So it is my choice to push people away or push situations away from a place of contraction, or I can meet this in myself, this contraction. I meet it. I can be present with it. There's things I may have to really listen to it. I may have to have a little conversation with it, make sure it knows that, I will never let that happen again to myself or whatever it is. So there is a process where we have to learn to be present with these parts, that we have been suppressing. So here we are present with it. And then it can soften. And within that, I have a deep commitment to bring everything up for resolution back into love, into oneness. And the more I do that, the less contraction is there, the less battle, the less pushing away. Because when I don't push this away, when I allow this to be here too, so that it also can just flow into love, then there's more and more love available in me that can just move through. And in that, I can totally allow that love to also embrace whatever situation or people are out there. It doesn't mean I have to go out and embrace them with a hug, right? But what changes is the energy, because I don't carry this anymore. And this is what pushes people away, right? That's how the world is. We push each other away because we see things differently. But it's not the solution to anything. It's just perpetuating what we don't want. So here I am bringing this to resolution in myself. And then I meet these older or newer situations with a very different energy. That could mean that these people also will change or open up to me or something, but not necessarily. And again, I'm not doing it because I want them to change or I want them to blah, blah, blah. I'm doing it because I want to be free inside. I want to be free from all these contractions, these places where I hold on and push people away. This is an invitation for all of us. And like I say, I am doing this is just, it's like my daily life. It's like brushing teeth. I just do it. I don't argue with it. I don't go into, I don't want it or whatever. Whatever it is, I'm done with that because I don't want to feed the matrix anymore. And resistance to the matrix is really good food for it. So I don't want to engage in that. I rather, dish up a love dish, and then the matrix doesn't know what to do with that. So it will just start dissolving. So this is what we can do if we want to start, if we long for less division and less battle and less war out in the world. There is only one way to do that, and it is to bring up where we are still divided inside, we're still at war with ourselves or anybody else, and we let the love bring it up. That's why we see it. It's not because we're bad or wrong. It's simply because these new frequencies are bringing up anything unlike itself for us to release it, because we are the ones who keep love unlike itself, right? We are holding on to that. So the love brings it up where we can make a new choice, and we can say, okay, I'm willing to feel this now, this pain, this anger, this whatever it is. And then I'm just going to hold it here. Okay, love, now you take care of the rest because I don't know how to do that. But love does know that. Love does know that. Just like when you drop a frozen drop in the ocean knows what to do to dissolve it. It just happens. The ocean is not going out, okay, now we have to dissolve that frozen water drop. No, it drops in and floop, it just melts into the water. And that is how it is too with these, what's it called, unintegrated parts of ourselves that are kept outside of love. When we bring them up in just an open way, love knows exactly what to do with this. And that is something we can learn to trust. It may not happen the first time, not because of love, but because we're still holding a little bit onto it, maybe a little less. And then so a little more love can come in. and then maybe again. But so it's a process, and it's going to be different for each one of us. But that's what I think it was so beautiful yesterday to have this conversation and just realizing how there really is no other way left for us if we want to create a new world, which is based on love and oneness and connection. That is the way. We have to just start from within. So I hope this today is giving you a little bit of a taste of that. And of course, as always, you're welcome to reach out if you need help with that. You can set up a self-discovery session with me, and we can explore, what kind of support you might need to help bring these parts up and not keep suppressing them down. It's an art. It's an art, and it's a very, very beautiful art because it gets easier over time. All right. Thank you so much.